OpenAI just launched an app store inside ChatGPT, and you can now use apps just by typing prompts. And this will change SaaS as we know it. I made this prediction about 10 months ago about ChatGPT launching an app store, and last week it actually happened. But it's even bigger than I expected. We're not just seeing a new feature, we're watching the early stages of what could be the next SaaS gold rush. And if history repeats itself, the founders who move early are going to have a massive advantage. So in this video, I want to break down what's actually happening, why this matters for anyone building software, and how you can position yourself before the space gets crowded. This was me 10 months ago talking about how ChatGPT would eventually become an app distribution platform. I can totally see ChatGPT releasing a, let's say, app store kind of thing really soon, and that this would change everything for SaaS. But how can I be so sure? Because I've seen a few of these transitions before, which I will show you later in the video. But the main thing you need to know is that this is happening again right now. Because when someone can solve their problem just by asking ChatGPT without ever opening a browser, that changes how software gets discovered and used. Just like AI previews have changed Google search forever and fewer people click on actual websites. It moves us from browser-based to chat-based apps for many use cases. Of course, not all, but still many use cases. But that's not even the biggest part. With the interface, they're also creating the distribution channel at the exact same time. You will find the app inside ChatGPT, pay for it, prompt it, and also use it there. You wouldn't even need to leave ChatGPT. This gives OpenAI control over the entire customer experience from finding the app to using it. And this will give it an even tighter hold than traditional app stores ever had. Before we get into the implication that if you're a non-technical founder with an MVP idea but don't know where to start and want to make sure it's future-proof, this is where we help with at SaaS Mastery. You can find out more by clicking the first link in the description. So, how is OpenAI building this? And how do we know they're actually serious about building a real app store here and not just a small feature? The thing is, OpenAI is rolling out payments API soon and even said that they will share more about monetization opportunities later in the year. So this is really, really hot right now. But first, to understand just how big of a deal this is, you have to remember what it was like before 2008. How did you get software on your device? You had to find a developer's website, maybe download something from a shady third-party store. It was insecure and usually just a terrible experience. Most people were struggling. Then the App Store launched, first for the iPhone, then for the Mac, and suddenly there was a single centralized, trusted place to find, buy, and download software with one click. It completely changed the game. So this allowed those who jumped on this opportunity early to make way more money and get way more customers. This new AI-based store is going to create that same kind of brand new distribution channel, and this completely changes how software is going to be delivered. But as I just mentioned, there's that one key difference. With Apple, you downloaded the app and you left the store to go into the developer's world. And with this new model, the user never leaves the chat. That's the part that changes everything. But how am I so sure that this one change will be so disruptive? Because this massive shift goes beyond a revolution in distribution. It's also a revolution in interaction with the software. And that also isn't happening for the first time. Let's go back again to the early 1990s and 2000s, when all software was installed on your computer. Microsoft Office, Adobe Photoshop, QuickBooks, everything lived on your hard drive. Then broadband internet became common and suddenly you could run software in a browser. This is a technological change that made a revolution happen. Now the companies that dominated desktop software struggled because they weren't able to adapt fast. Meanwhile, the nimble startups that got built using the cloud, like Salesforce, Google with Docs, FreshBooks, took the market by surprise. So the software companies that did not adapt struggled. Or even take the example of when mobile apps overtook web apps in specific niches. WhatsApp and Telegram replaced web-based messengers like MSN and Yahoo Chat. Mobile-first Spotify displaced sites like Grooveshark and Pandora. Uber and Lyft made taxi booking websites obsolete overnight. These apps did not invent new markets, even though we might not think of it like that. They simply delivered the same value with far better convenience, speed, and integration into everyday life where it made sense for users and once it became available to them because of a new technology. And that's exactly what's happening now with chat-based apps. Sending a prompt like arrange this data is way easier than manually arranging data in a CRM. ChatGPT is more powerful for complex requests because it doesn't need hard-coded buttons and functions for everything. Have you ever struggled to do something complex in software because the specific functionality or filter just wasn't available? In theory, and if implemented well, ChatGPT will be able to combine data, make up SQL queries, and code on the fly, use third-party tools long before you can send a feature request to your existing SaaS vendor. This means that for certain types of software, chat-based apps can overtake the traditional models. So we've seen this pattern. We've seen it with the cloud. We've seen it with mobile, and it's happening again. So what does this actually mean for you? If you've been thinking about building a SaaS product, this might be one of the better moments to start, because right now you have a chance to get in early. And the earlier you start in this ecosystem, the faster you get market share. But there's an even bigger advantage. You see, for the past 5 years, it was hard to start a niche SaaS because the trend was going towards these large industry-specific suites of applications. They might not excel at every feature, but they included everything a business might need for one price, and most importantly, worked on the same data, which is why large monolith applications were winning. So now this ChatGPT App Store reopens the door for small specialized tools to win again. Because this time, the LLM itself is the new ecosystem. ChatGPT is the new integrator. It can grab data from your new small tool, talk to another small tool, and combine them on the fly in ways no human power user efficiently ever could. So the opportunities to build the best specialized tool that ChatGPT can use to get a job done. Imagine a user types, take Dave's hours from our time tracking tool, check his current rate in our contracting tool, and issue an invoice using our billing tool. Done. Right now, for every one of those actions, there are big players in the market, or a suite with all those functions for a particular vertical, such as cleaning. But they don't integrate with ChatGPT yet, and their pricing is focused on power users who pay for their entire expensive suite. A new time tracking tool or a new contracting tool built from day one for this new ChatGPT ecosystem could grow extremely fast. You can compete on native integration and a niche price point, just like when the App Store launched. Right now, you have a chance to establish yourself in this space before it gets crowded. This is it. But how do you take advantage of this? What do you need to do? First, you need to focus on building niche B2B tools. The official launch partners like Canva and Figma confirm this. And to build in this space, you'll want to understand the new developer ecosystem OpenAI is creating. OpenAI has officially released an SDK, which stands for Software Development Kit, which is designed to help you and me develop apps that will work on ChatGPT, and even has plans for monetization for developers. Basically, the ChatGPT App Store is a new kind of distribution channel, and early movers will have a huge advantage. You can do that by building for this new ecosystem or integrating with it if you already run a software business. That's all for this video. Now, if you're in the process of building a SaaS and want expert guidance to get your MVP launched in 2 to 6 months, that's what we do at SaaS Mastery. We've helped founders build and scale their SaaS to 7- and 8-figure success stories. We will give you a complete roadmap, product concept, access to our vetted developer network, and, if needed, fractional CTO guidance. You can learn more from the first link in the description. As always, the whole reason I make these videos is to help non-technical founders build and launch their SaaS products without all the trial and error. But if you're still in the beginning stage and don't know how to launch the MVP, then watch this video where I cover the step-by-step framework for building a winning MVP from day one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.